30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Live from the heart of Lincoln, America. Welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, welcome. Good morning to What's Next on 93.7 The Ticket, where we offer real-life motivational stories of how people have rediscovered happiness and true joy while you create a lasting legacy. If you're feeling forgotten or have lost hope, this show is for you. I'm Mike, and I'm joined with Sherry.
Hi, guys.
And we're the authors of Next 24, which is available at Barnes & Noble, South Point Mall. And now, why don't we go ahead and get started with the show, and I'll turn it over to Sherry.
Well, first things first, we do a little tradition thing, as you guys all know. First thing we do our daily affirmations. Ben, I know you get excited about this. Do you want me to just pick one and throw it down to you?
You can pick one and read it for me.
That
way you don't have to throw it over
pick one
here.
and read it. Okay, this one's
You got
Ben's. And we have, besides our special guest this morning, we have an extra special guest, just really quick. We have Miss Lola, who's sitting over by Ben, and she's just observing. And we are so honored and grateful that she is here. She's a foreign exchange student from Spain. And I don't know if you can see her. Maybe Ben, show her real quick. She's just a doll. You can wave, Lola. The cameras are over there. Anyways, Lola, I'm gonna just pick one and shove it down to you. We're gonna shove this down to you, girl. We'll let you pick one, Renee.
Okay.
Here's mine. Now, if you get a blank one, you have to make up your own affirmation. Of course, I got a blank one.
Okay.
All right, Ben, go. You start us out. Oh,
You're reading mine.
Let me read yours, Ben. Ben, you are a leader.
I'm a
today
leader.
You are a leader.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
all
right.
There we go. I like that one.
That's right. And we're gonna let Miss Lola read hers. You just talk in the mic.
Oh, wait. Now go.
Oh,
right in this mic.
I am fearless.
Yay.
Absolutely.
Oh, I love that.
Miss Renee.
I choose to be positive.
Oh, I like that one. That one's my favorite. I got a blank one, so I got to make one up. And I'm just going to say that I am strong.
There you go. And I deserve to be fully loved.
Yes, you do.
All right.
Sherry,
Yes, you do.
your foot's not very strong right now.
No, my foot's not strong, and you guys can't see it, but I did break my foot, and I'm in a boot and hobbling along. But it is what it is. Always something in my life. All right, and as per our other thing we absolutely love to do, we love to read a little bit of an affirmation out of our good friend Ricky Simmons' book, 365 Days of Redemption. And today we're going to tell you that uplifting others is a great way to lift up your personal life. Our society is being misled into believing that fake is real and real is fake. Encourage as many people as you can to be productive and humble. Negativity gets way, way too much attention. And once again, we love our Ricky Simmons. We love his book. If you don't have it, you need to get it. As we tell you that there's some space in there to write in, and you can write your thoughts every day, kind of according to what Ricky has put in there. And once again, Ricky's show is on Sunday nights from 8 to 9. Get your happy on. We love you, Rick. We can't wait to see what you got in store for us tonight. Now, with all the formalities out of the way.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and introduce our special guest today?
Yes, absolutely. We are so excited to have Miss Renee Sabatka. She's the founder and the CEO of True North Technologies, and she's here with us today. Welcome, Renee.
Thank you very much.
We thank you for joining us, and we're going to just kind of start at the beginning, and we're going to start a little bit. You are from West Point, Nebraska.
That's correct.
Which is a wonderful little town. I've been through it, but haven't stuck around in it. And that's where you grew up. Can you just briefly tell us a little bit about what it was like growing up in a small town?
I love small towns. They're just the greatest people that you'll ever meet. But I went to a parochial high school, Guardian Angels Central Catholic, and I just really cherished my childhood. I felt like I was given a great faith, and I had wonderful role models in my parents, and I loved my teachers. And my favorite month of the year was always September because we were going to go back to school. I love school, and I love football, and I love volleyball, and I just love everything about fall. So, nope, it was a really great experience. Just a really tight knit community that always made sure to take care of other people when they needed help.
And that is so important. And I
Yeah.
think more people, that needs
Yeah.
to come more into the bigger cities nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a funeral, everyone shows up at your house with a whole bunch of food. So
Yeah.
it was kind of strange to me in Lincoln. I had a friend, I brought some food over, and they were like kind of shocked by it. And I was like,
Really?
this is what you do.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Renee, tell us a little bit about growing up. Brothers and sisters?
Yep, I have an older brother and sister.
We got to talk on the phone a little bit yesterday, and this show's different, unique. As I mentioned yesterday, we didn't plan it, but you are our first woman guest on the show, which is fantastic.
We need to mention.
And the reason I want to bring that up is the focus of our show is really for people who are out there are hurting, suffering, maybe feel like their goals were forgotten or lost, and they want to figure out a way to rebound and restart again to find their joy and happiness. You yesterday shared some really some personal things, and we appreciate you sharing what you wanted to share. But you shared some things about life, and as from a woman's perspective in high school. Would you tell what were your hopes and dreams growing up through high school? What was your kind of thought moving forward? And I know you mentioned your father. Your father has a special bond with this. Could you start from there?
Well, if you had asked me when I graduated high school what I wanted to be, I would have said I want to be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. I had big dreams.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to be. So I thought that I would, work my way up in the business world. And so I started in corporate America after graduating college. But there are some, boundaries, some limitations I think that women encounter. And I think especially in certain industries, I was in the banking industry, and I felt that to be pretty male dominated. I see that changing more and more. I've been a recovered banker now for like 6 or 7 years, and I do see that changing. I see more executives that are female in the banking industry, and that's exciting to me.
Mhm.
I love supporting other women, and I do relate to them. I do relate to the struggles that they encounter, but I have been super fortunate. I was raised by parents that I knew loved me. We had what we needed. We
Mhm.
never had extra. But we grew up in a nice house. I always felt like there was going to be a dinner on the table, and
Right.
I think, when I think about what real life looks like for a lot of young girls, they're in survival mode, and
Mhm.
Mhm.
maybe trying to take care of others in their family. And I didn't have to do any of that. So I was given the story that I can do anything I want to do. And I just try to go ahead and be that person to any other woman that I encounter because they may not have gotten that story when they were growing up.
Talk
Right. And
talk
I think, and I think certain generations, of course, now we live in such a generation of technology
Mhm.
and things that are on TV and the image that you need to create, and you need to be a certain way.
Yep.
And, even maybe 10 years ago, there were certain occupations and certain careers that women just didn't even think about, even if they wanted to.
Mhm.
I can't do that. That's a guy thing,
Yeah.
And now it has just changed so much. And there's so many groups out there that we were just talking about this on the way down here, these women empowering women, where you can do these things, you can achieve these things. Sometimes it's a little harder depending on the industry,
Yep.
where you have to fight a little bit harder. But I think it's cool that growing up in a small town and you hit on something that struck me, that a lot of kids that grow up in the bigger cities, they don't have that sense of, we have everything we need. We have a nice house. We have food on the table. It's like
Mhm.
we want, but a lot of kids now are like more, more, more. Everything is more, more, more.
Yeah, it is a society of, subscriptions and,
Yes. Yes.
you know, spending and having things, and
Yeah.
and so I think, um, I wish that it wasn't so much like that, but,
Yeah.
that is the society we live in, and so we kinda have to, speak to people under circumstances that they understand.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And you talk about your mom and your dad and what an influence they were in your life, and especially your dad, the couple times that we've chatted, you know what he really meant to you. And I know that there's such a special bond between daddies and their little girls.
Yeah, I was totally a daddy's girl.
Yes. And just touch briefly on that. What are some things that he taught you? What are some ways that he brought you to the surface, so to speak, to get to where you're at today?
Yeah, I mean, I think, what I remember the most about my dad was how hardworking he was. I got to go play outside every day, and, I could stay out as long as my dad was out working, and as soon as his truck came up the hill, it was time to go home. So, I think I learned how to do a lot. Like, I can, change out an outlet, or,
Change a tire.
fix a garbage
Mhm.
disposal. I mean, you learn by observing, and he could fix anything. He was really fascinating. He was sort of a self-taught, architect. He learned how to build from his father, and he would make his own blueprints. He would do his own,
Wow.
surveying. He would dig his foundations, pour his foundations, do electrical, plumbing. This was old school. You could
Mhm.
you could be everything, every trade,
Wow.
and build a home. And he just really took a lot of pride in what he did, and, built really high quality homes that, fit the needs of the families that, he was building for, and always really took time to put, like, a special touch on everything. And, I think, this will definitely be part of our conversation, but, he passed away in 2017, and I had the good fortune of going to a funeral where, every single person that came up that day just had
Mhm.
something amazing to say about him. He was just a really fun-loving person that gave back to the community. But the thing that stood out to me the most was how, people would just say, "Oh, he was just such a master of his craft." And, every
Mhm.
time we look at the mantle, we think of your father, and we think of him every single time that we're in my mom's house too. So you feel his presence by those physical things that he
Yeah.
put on this earth. And
Renee, let me ask you a question. This
yeah,
I lost my mother when I was 19 to leukemia. And my sister's passed away, my brother's passed away. I want to talk a little bit about loss.
yeah.
Was just, if you don't mind sharing, uh, was this death, was it unexpected? Did he get ill? What
Yeah, it was very unexpected. He had never been sick a single day in my life. I
Mhm,
have never seen him take a sick day.
mhm,
He just a week before that had said, I just don't really feel that good. He even asked to go get checked out.
mhm,
What ended up happening, he was, having some short of breath symptoms, but it
mhm.
was MRSA that had settled in his heart.
Ah,
And it once it's in your heart, there is almost nothing that you
ah,
can do. So
Oh,
it was very sudden. So he went quickly from, being functioning and normal to being septic and
right.
hallucinating in the hospital. I remember
oh,
him seeing like spiders crawling on the wall and
Mhm,
cats watching him and
mhm.
um, drones outside the window. So it was just a really crazy thing. But um, I have a really quick story. So when we were
sure.
in the hospital with him, one of the things he asked me to do was get his service record. It was really important to him to be recognized as a veteran of foreign war.
Oh,
He had been working on this, and I didn't know about it, but he's like, "Here, write this down," and he just rattled off his service number. And I found out later that the reason he wanted that was because he wanted his grandchildren to be able to apply for scholarships as a descendant of a veteran of foreign war. And
mm,
I just did that with my daughter this
mm.
week. It was
Oh,
one of the check boxes, and so
I
I was really proud to be able to
wow.
tell her, yes, you do get to say yes to that
I
one.
did not
Yeah,
know that
yeah,
that
yeah,
that was a perk. My
yeah. I
my
don't know if
dad
there'll
was
be anything that comes of it, but it
Yeah.
just felt good to know that
oh,
she was able to say yes to that, and that is on his record. Apparently, Vietnam War wasn't originally recognized as a war, so
Mhm.
when that changed, it was really important for him to have
wow.
that designation.
So
So,
he was in Vietnam.
yep,
Well,
Wow.
Renee, let me ask you to go back a little bit. Is I know that for people who are listening, when people lose a loved one unexpectedly like that, families sometimes can fall apart, or it doesn't feel the same.
yeah.
Can you share a little bit about how you res- responded or how you reacted with that type of loss with the family? What was the repercussions of this?
Well, that's really interesting. I know that is the case with a lot of people, and it is the case with us. I wouldn't have really expected it, but
Yeah.
my siblings and I were just not super close. We're not the family that calls each other every day. Um, and
Hmm.
with the passing of my father, my mom just really didn't want to do holidays anymore. So
Yeah.
I didn't only just lose my dad, I lost Christmas, I lost everything, it felt like.
Yeah.
Um, and I
Yeah.
understand that, like, holidays to her were my dad. Like she lived that holiday for him. Like she just loved to like cook for him, and they were just such a team. I think I was
Yeah.
so inspired by them as a couple. Like they just they didn't need anyone else,
Hmm.
but after he died, she needed some time before she was able to like really celebrate again. So, yeah, I have lost touch with my brother and sister, and when you
Yeah.
don't have those holidays to come back to, and we still see each other, maybe once a year or something like that, but it's just not the same.
Yeah.
Different.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
different. You always have that one matriarch or patriarch that kind of
Yeah.
holds the family together.
And I would have guessed that that was my mom.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
really would have, because she's the one that like made holidays happen. But the fact that they disappeared after my dad died was just such a shock to me.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I bet. I mean, my family had kind of gone through that too. My grandmother was kind of a
Yeah.
pillar. And
Yeah.
and I knew, even before she passed, and we had her till she was in her 90s. But I knew that when she passed, that everything was just going to kind of not be the same,
Yep.
kind of crumble a little
Yeah.
bit. And it never has been the same.
Yeah, and so I can sympathize with people when, holidays are hard. Holidays aren't always fun, and,
And
just seeing everyone else so happy can make you feel pretty alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you? I mean, I'll just share a little bit. My brother and sister just fell apart, and it never. That's the way they were most of their life till they
Mhm.
passed. How did you find the strength? What did you lean on? What did you do to just get up and keep moving forward?
You know, it's interesting. I went back to my desk job at the bank that I was working at, and um I was really happy in that job. Like, I had a lot of fun at that job. They treated me great. I was able to work 9 to 3 and drop off my kids and pick them up from school, but
Mhm.
um I was just kind of sitting there and had this revelation. Like, it was almost like I could hear my dad, like, "Oh, so now that he's up there, I can feel him watching me, and, like,
Mhm.
this just wasn't good enough anymore." You
Mhm.
know, like, I was kind of phoning it in. It was a job that I had, come in, and I learned a lot, and I was able to automate a lot of the process, create, systems that would automatically generate reports every month, and I was kind of phoning it in, and I had to just admit that to myself, and,
Mhm.
um I just kept thinking, like, what are my kids gonna think when they're at my funeral, you know?
Mm.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And so it just all changed in that moment. Um, I was like, well, I guess they're gonna hear, well, she was kind of fun at work. We had a great time, and, she made these reports, but, like, I mean, they were just nobody really cared about them.
Mm.
So that's what I felt like, and I thought, I just gotta really make a change because I can do better than this, Like, I've always wanted to, like, be the leader. I always wanted to run a company. And so I spoke with upper management and I asked, like, is it something that I can be guaranteed the CFO role when my boss retires? That was, going to be within the next 5 years.
Mhm.
And they couldn't guarantee that, which is understandable. But I just let them know at that time that I would, I'd probably be making a change, that I would probably be leaving the bank. So I didn't know what that looked like. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I did decide to make a change at that point. I did end up moving to a full-time position
Mhm.
at Nelnet for a short time. Um, but even then it didn't feel like
It
enough.
wasn't it.
Yeah.
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 So I needed to do something bigger. What I actually did was set a Outlook reminder on my email, and it said, I'm going to work for myself by the time I'm 40. And I was probably
Nice.
late 38, 39.
Nice.
I had no idea what I was going to do, but I was going to work for myself and I was gonna be the person making decisions.
Now, in the middle of all this, and we'll get to
Mhm.
furthering your career here in a
Sure.
little
Yep.
bit, but in the middle of all this, and I wasn't sure of the timeline, so forgive me. So your father passed away. But then you started having a lot of personal struggles. You had some health
Sure.
struggles. You had some marriage struggles. Maybe kind of touch on some of that and stuff, and maybe the timeline
Yeah.
of how things kind of went down.
Yeah, it's really interesting, how life loves to just dump on you when things aren't going
Yeah.
great.
Mhm.
So the timeline for me in my personal life, so when I'll go back just a little ways because, I need to touch on the fact that I ended up winding up somehow being a stay-at-home mom. Like, that was
Mm.
not my plan. Like I said, when I graduated high school, when I graduated college, I mean, I had a plan. I was gonna be a career person, um, all the way, and I was working at the bank, at Tier 1 bank before they got shut down, and when they did, I was part-time. I had, started to work just 2 days a week, so I could spend some time with my kids, but, immediately part-time people were fired. So then at the time, I was married and, my husband was, really successful at what he did, and my income was sort of irrelevant at that point. So we decided that I was gonna stay home with the kids, and they were 2 and 4. And I do have just some of the most amazing memories from that time, and I don't wanna downplay it at all. That was
Right.
a really big gift that I got to spend all that time with them. Um, but it wasn't my plan and it was really hard. I definitely lost a lot of my self-worth and just feeling like like
You were
There's
just,
literally nobody that appreciates anything that I do around here.
right. You were just a mom.
Sherry,
Yeah.
hold that note. We got
Yeah.
at this time 7:21. We need to take a break, and we'll be right back with Renee.
Okay.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay. Playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
General Fire and Safety has been keeping Lincoln businesses and commercial structures safe for more than 50 years. From a simple fire extinguisher to full fire suppression systems, Lincoln has trusted General Fire and Safety to provide top-of-the-line products, installation, and maintenance. If you're starting a new business in a brand new building, call on General Fire and Safety to help you plan a fire safety system that fits the specific needs of your business, employees, and customers. Call General Fire and Safety today at 402-261-0116.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $23 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
The temperature and leaves are falling daily, so that means it's time for a new pair of shoes for the fall season from Brown Shoe Fit. Now, through October 31st, take $15 off any regular priced fall shoe and boots. Brands like Keen, Obos, Echo, Taos, and Atrex, all $15 off. Some exclusions may apply. See store for details. This is the sale that you've all been waiting for. So get down to Brown Shoe Fit on 66th and Q.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? By placing your bets at Warhorse Sportsbook. Their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Landmark Implement helps you put dirt in its place with increased accuracy and greater speed thanks to the John Deere Smart Grade. This fully integrated 3D grade control system boosts job site productivity and reduces labor costs with fewer passes and less wasted material, meaning more bids won and higher margins. No masts, no cables, just clear views of the job site. Visit your local Landmark Implement today and discover the profit-boosting power of the Smart Grade and experience the Landmark difference.
Step into healing at Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery. Our team of top-notch medical professionals turns pain into progress with state-of-the-art treatments and compassionate care. Visit prairieortho.com and discover the difference in quality orthopedic and plastic surgery services tailored to your unique needs. Your health matters, and Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery is dedicated to helping you thrive. Reach your full potential. Embrace a better tomorrow with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription, or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, welcome back to What's Next. We're so happy in our next segment here to talk with Renee Sabatica. She's the founder and CEO of True North Technologies, sharing her emotional story and how she discovered her own happiness and true joy. And with that, I'll turn it over to Sherry.
Before the break, Renee, we were just kind of getting into the conversation about where you started really getting into some stressful times in your personal life. I'm going to let you pick up on that and run with it.
Yeah. So I was stay-home mom with my kids, and that was a good experience, but I was definitely ready to get back into the workforce. I started 1 week after my son started kindergarten. And I did that mainly because I had not been super happy in my marriage. I knew that things weren't probably going to be turning around, and in order to get out from underneath a bad situation that I had made all the choices to put myself in, I think it was time for me to start making my own money again. And I really enjoyed being back in the workforce. I got that those affirmations of like, oh, this is so great. What would we do without you? And I started to really feel like a human again. And the more I did start finding some of that joy, the more I wanted, and it was like I needed to continue you know, making changes in my life in order to find happiness. And even though I had made the decision to get married and have kids, like I was still in control of my life. And I grew up Catholic, like I said. That was one of the reasons why I stayed in my marriage probably a lot longer than necessary. And I knew that it was something that would be really pretty devastating to my parents, who I had worked really hard to try to make proud my whole life. It it became quite apparent, though, towards the end of my marriage that, it wasn't good for me, and it wasn't gonna be good for my kids. Um, when you see a son come downstairs after being woke up in the middle of the night, just this little guy, asking you to stop fighting, it's kinda like, it's time. We're not doing anyone any good here. So, it was at least time for a separation if nothing else. So, um, I I moved out into a townhouse. I decided to try to not upset the kids' life as much as I possibly could. So, I would come and go. I would, come make breakfast, take them to school, go to work, then I pick them up from school, be there in their original house, make them dinner, put them to bed, and then go home. I was able to leave the scenario anytime that I needed, and that was power because I didn't have to stay. I didn't feel trapped anymore. Um, but like I said, life will just throw some wrenches your way. I ended up with a neck fusion. I had a pinched nerve. Don't ride the dragon. I heard they took it down at Adventureland.
Yeah.
I ruptured a disc and needed a neck fusion. I wasn't able to drive for 3 months. I ended up like really having to rely again on other people. And it is something where you just kind of have to dig deep, find your faith that this too shall pass. Like you can get through an illness, an injury, and you just have to keep putting one foot in front of the other.
So holding on to that faith was such an important part of I know there was some conflict with making personal decisions, big decisions about your marriage
Yeah.
and worrying about letting your parents down, but the faith still stuck with you, it
Yeah.
seems. And this faith still probably to this day plays such an important role in
It
your life.
is. Yeah, and I feel like that just only continues to deepen, like, um, as you go through life, you do encounter hardship and you see other people going through hardship, but, just knowing that all of those, you know, bad things, you do have somebody walking side by side with you, and there has to be a purpose behind that pain.
Mm.
Um, and what I always find really interesting is even though I'm really happy with where my life is at right now, I just thought that I need um, a way to give back to other people. I found the most joy in being able to like give to other people, make other people happy, but the best parts of my story are not the happiest parts. So like most of this conversation today is gonna, dwell on like really pivotal, like impactful moments in my life, but it doesn't define me. It doesn't, that's not my story today. I think it's really important to sort of embrace the suck, like embrace
Mhm.
what's bad in your life because those are the parts and the pieces of the puzzle that make the best part of your story.
Do you view it as a lesson? Or so how do you look at it? Some people look at it with bitterness and
I
anger.
don't. I look at it more like it's a building block. Like every single
Yeah.
one of those gave me like just a little bit better view of the world. Like I could step up a little higher and just see things differently.
Part of the plan. You had mentioned to us yesterday on the phone, and this had a big impact on me because I experienced this a little bit. But you had said that there was a point in time when you were going through this, and when you were getting over to the other side, where you were starting to move forward again, that your mom made a comment to you that said, "I'm glad to have my daughter back."
Yeah, that was a that was like a really great moment. It's something I'll never forget, just her saying that. Because I had worried so much about disappointing them and once they kind of knew the truth of what I had been dealing with the last 5 years of my marriage, they were starting to think that I was a different person and they didn't necessarily like that person. And guess what? I didn't like that person either. So it was really great to know that like they did still see the good in me and that it was still there. And I had, there's things I didn't like that I did in that marriage. Um, there's just there's things that you can't change,
Right.
but
Right.
what you can change is your path going forward. You can just choose to go back to being a good person, go back to your roots, go back to doing what you know, and get that faith back, Like there was a point where I even said like I don't believe in God.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
I knew that wasn't true like deep in my heart, but yeah, there's times where you do lose your way, you lose your path.
Yes.
But
And you
it's
think how
important. It's
much more
really important to get it back.
yes, and you think, I mean, I recall countless conversations with God where it was like, "Okay, God, how much more do you think I can take?
Yeah.
I've had enough. How much more? Really? Really? How
Yeah.
much more can I take?"
Yeah.
And, it just, just that one statement that your mom made. I think when you're in those bad situations, especially in relationships or marriages where there is fighting, where there is any type of abuse, not, and I'm not talking, and being beat up or you end up in the emergency room, but, the emotional abuse, financial abuse. There's so many forms of abuse.
Mhm.
And I think you have a tendency to you keep it inside because, you're embarrassed.
I was just
You're
gonna say that.
yeah,
Yeah, you're
you're
embarrassed
embarrassed and
because you
that's
made
not you want people to know that
yeah,
what your life is like.
right.
You don't
I
want to be
got
one of those.
I got great at lying.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was like the best. Like people thought that I was so happy.
Yeah. And
Um,
you avoid. You
yeah,
also isolate and avoid so
yeah,
nobody finds out.
yeah, right. Because yeah, it's just that natural tendency to do self protection.
Hmm.
And I knew that I had gotten myself in that position. So it's either own it and live it or change it.
You
Can
know,
can you
there's a
can you share a little bit on how you began to change it? You got to put a plan. You got to gain some strength.
Yeah,
You got to start looking forward instead of backward.
yeah.
What? How did you begin to look forward? Is what I'd like you to
Yeah, I
touch on.
think getting that job and getting that autonomy, getting some of my own, work coworker friends, people to talk to confide in, um, that was great. But um, it was definitely trying, I guess, those times during my separation, going through my divorce. I also had an incident with a friend's husband that was really negative. I You get blamed for everything as a female. It seems like there's just no way in my mind that this attempt was my fault. But yeah, I definitely got my name dragged through the mud after I
Mhm.
told this friend of mine what had happened. I didn't let anything happen, but it was just really strange scenario where you just it always ends up coming back on you. And so every single one of those things just made me just feel just that much more like stuck in the mud. But
Mhm.
um, I just kept thinking like there's it has to get better from here. Like it has to. And I had my kids. I had to keep going forward for my kids. Um, and I'm just here to tell you like it can be so so bad, but then you just keep putting one foot in front of the other, and eventually things will turn around, and you'll almost feel like that couldn't have been my life. Like I don't even recognize
right.
that person anymore.
Right.
So what did you do though in your mind? You're sitting there at that moment. I remember the moment when I just went, I've got to do something. I shut off the TV, shut off my phone, grabbed a notepad, and I wrote for hours. Did you do anything like that?
That's
I
a really healthy way. I turned towards like exercise. Like I found like going for bike rides, I could clear my head. I could really think when I was on a bike ride. And I've been really fortunate to have great friends. That talking to friends is a really important thing to me. So yeah, I think you just have to find for yourself what works. I think journaling is really healthy. I've always wanted to be a journaler. I'm just not.
Mhm.
Um, I'm a really social person, and so isolating myself wasn't the solution. But yeah, I think just deciding that like you get to write your story is
Yeah.
important. And once you make that decision, then things start falling in place. And I do believe everything happens for a reason. I've found, so much joy later in my life being able to be such a better friend, a better supporter for people that are going through hard times. Because
Mhm.
yeah, life was so easy for me, and I thought I had it all figured out. It was like, great, you graduate from high school, you get a great grades in college, you get a great job, and,
Married, you have
get
kids.
married, you have
Yeah.
kids, I'm following exactly, I'm
Yeah.
tracking right on what this world tells you is the perfect way to do things. But
Due to time, I want to make sure we get this in.
yeah,
As you told me about a book that you discovered called True North. Is that correct?
that's right, yeah.
Can you share? Was that sounds like to me? It was sound like that was a pivotal moment of information that you got out of this book. Am I right on that?
So it wasn't the book right away, but it was an article, that was written, and it was based on that book. I didn't read the book until a few years later in life, but, a friend had given me, a copy of that article that she thought was just such a great article. But it was, um, if you live your life based on your values and you make all of your decisions based on your values, um, you will inevitably write your course and find your path to your true north. And I was that was right when I was in the thick of all of the horrible, and I thought, okay, so this is really this is really good. Every decision I make, if I base it on my values, I'll find myself again, you know? And so that stuck with me my whole life after that. And so eventually when I came to like naming my company, I named it True North Technologies in honor of that. But I didn't even read the book until like another 6 months, a year later. And what that book is sort of about is just, like I said, making all your decisions based on your values. And then there's like 3 phases of your life. You know, the first one is really just all about you, getting that career, all the stuff I had already said. Then the second phase is, you know, your world expands a little. It includes maybe you care about your family, your coworkers, the company you work for, your community, maybe your church, whatever it is, the nonprofits that you decide to be a part of. But then eventually you cross into this like third phase of your life where you want to pass on the knowledge that you've gained. You want to give back, maybe give financially, give your time, and you just the world becomes such a bigger place to you, and it's not just about you and your immediate circumstances anymore. So, if you're kind of feeling a little lost at this point in your life, it might be a good book to read. It's
Sounds like it.
All right.
Let me.
We gotta take
break.
another break
Okay.
here, but we're gonna come back here in just a few minutes with Renee Sabatka and finish up and just hear a little bit more about what she's all about. Stay tuned.
Davis Plumbing is a locally owned company specializing in a wide range of plumbing services for both commercial and residential customers. Davis Plumbing has been in business for over 15 years and has a team of experienced plumbers ready to help you with any project, big or small. Customer satisfaction and peace of mind is their number one priority. So for any commercial or residential project, give Davis Plumbing a call today at 402-525-6922. Davis Plumbing, locally owned and operated for over 15 years.
When you need a new water heater, nothing beats the ProLine family of water heaters from A.O. Smith. ProLine models are built using commercial-grade components, meaning they're built to help you tackle your toughest days. No matter if you need a gas or electric model, A.O. Smith has a ProLine unit for you. A.O. Smith, innovation has a name. Call John Henrys at 402-435-5555 for a great deal on a water heater today. Again, that's 402-435-5555.
Your 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store. All right, Rico, let's do the final checklist before we head out. We have a lot of people coming to the tailgate today. I'm ready. Burgers? Check. Chips? Check. Icy cold beer? Check. Except this one. I'm forgetting something. Wait a second. Where's the Führer's cheese spread? I can't stop eating it. Rico, relax. I always pack extra. It's the biggest hit of the tailgate.
For the best appetizer, party dip, and tailgate snack, load up on Führer's cheese spread today in most local grocery stores.
Fall is here, which means it's time to dive into a new lineup of autumn flavors at Wings and Rings. Your home away from home during football season. Their all-star lineup of wing sauces is adding 2 new impact players, curry garlic and pumpkin chili. Need something delicious before kickoff? How about starting your meal with their brand new chorizo nachos and loaded fries? You better act fast. These new tastes of autumn won't be here long. So make the trip to one of their 2 Lincoln locations today on O Street or Village Lane.
At Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical, we're ready, reliable, and recommended. Water heater acting up or your sump pump on the fritz? Call Action. Summer's around the corner. Is your AC working? Are you sure? Call Action. Electrical problems? I'm telling you, call Action. Call Action for a free same-day estimate or a trusted second opinion. You heard that right, a free same-day estimate. 402-423-6960. ActionLincoln.com.
Right.
Brian, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop.
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we strive to provide you with the right coverages for all your insurance needs by taking the time to meet with you and review what coverages best fit your needs. So whether you're in the market for home, auto, farm, business, life, or a combination of any of these coverages, we can help with making sure you, your family, or your business have the right coverage based on your individual needs. If you would like to review your insurance needs, please contact Ben Spurt with Farm Bureau Financial Services at 402-217-9945 or through email at ben.spurt@fbfs.com.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red.
Midwest Bank is proud to be your local community bank right here in Lincoln. This is Kim with Midwest Bank. We know there is more to your business than numbers and spreadsheets. For us at Midwest Bank, the people who make up a business matter most. We believe in getting to know you and your business and providing customized banking solutions that help protect your business and help it grow. Schedule a free consultation with us today. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Learn more at midwest.bank. Member FDIC.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, welcome back to What's Next. We've had a wonderful show here today. It's a bit emotional time with Renee Sabaka, CEO of True North Technologies. Renee, thank you again. I've got a question for you that says it can be a pivotal question to many. Had you not gone through all the challenges and ups and downs that you had, would True North Technology be here today?
No, it definitely wouldn't be. I think that's the one thing that I can say. I am trying to use the passing of my father. Like that was sort of the pivotal inspiration for it. And had he not passed away, I probably wouldn't be sitting here today. I wouldn't have met the two of you. I wouldn't have had so many of the awesome experiences that I have had in my life. Feeling that really deep desire to leave a legacy was sort of the driving force behind putting things in line for my future, just to be able to show my kids who I am and what I'm made of. And it's been just really a lot of fun to start a company while they've been in these junior high school years. I think I'm so excited to see what they go out and do with their lives because it's so cool. They really think that anything is possible. Like, I mean, I just sort of created a company out of nothing and I can see the way that their brains work. They're always telling my mom that she should start a company. They're always coming up with business ideas. I mean, it's just really cool to see. I grew up in a small town, everybody owned their own business. My parents owned a lumber yard. My dad was a builder. All my aunts and uncles own their own businesses. It's just what you do. And so I love that my kids see that they're the ones that are gonna take it even another step further, right? So whatever it is that I had to go through to get to this point, I'm grateful for all of it. It's strange when you finally get to that point, when you are accepting and grateful for the ups and downs that have gotten you to where you're at in your life today. But I do wish that for everyone, and if you're in kind of a real low right now, it's not going to stay that way forever.
For those who don't know what True North is all about, can you give us a quick summary? What do you do?
Sure. Yeah, we're a digital marketing company. We develop websites and apps. We do search engine optimization. We'll do digital ads. I mean, we're here on the radio station. They do great advertising for businesses in the community. We're just here trying to do the same for business owners, help them be found, make sure they're getting a good return on their marketing dollars. And I find a lot of joy in just sitting down and brainstorming with businesses about their hopes, their goals, helping some of those come to fruition. So I also get to use technology to do that, and that's always been just sort of a passion of mine. I got to be a part of a lot of software implementation projects in my career, and now I'm getting to help businesses that may not know how to utilize digital marketing to their advantage, helping educate them and getting them, getting them seen, getting them found.
And you're also pretty active. You told me you're pretty passionate about being active in the community. What's the one organization that you'd like to volunteer with?
Yeah, I'm on the board for Habitat for Humanity right now. It's such a cool organization. I'm a part of their Women Build that'll be starting here after the first of the year. It brings together a lot of my strengths. Like I love how they teach financial literacy. It kind of is an homage to my father, and I get to swing a hammer at least once a year.
Well, I've seen pictures of you on Facebook with the hard hat and doing the things, and I just can't help thinking that your dad is up there going, yeah, that's my girl.
Yeah, this last year was a little bit more difficult than the other years. I just really felt how like he would have just loved to have been there. And I know that he would have just come down and been helping that day, and he just would have absolutely loved seeing all of us women swinging hammers. And it's just, I do really feel close to him being a part of this, but it's just giving affordable housing to families and making such an impact in their life, and helping to break generational poverty. It's a really important thing to me. I also have real estate, and I think that providing affordable housing in this community is a really big issue. So
it's a huge issue right now.
Okay, Renee, we're going to end up here pretty soon. You've got the mic. What would you like to close out and say to the community?
If you're thinking about making a change, I just highly recommend it. There's never going to be the perfect time. This is a really supportive community. If you need a nonprofit to help you through a bad situation, or if you're an entrepreneur that wants to start a business, I think that this community is here to help you. So just reach out to the chamber, become a part of their organization, meet more people, and just get out there and make the changes in your life that you're wanting to make. It is just such a great feeling when you get out of those trenches. So this whole community is here to help you, and I've just really been fortunate to get to know so many more people here in the last 5 years. It's just been the best 5 years of my life. So
well, that's great.
Is so awesome. And I mean, just for men and women, for women and men, but especially women. I want to just throw a Bible verse out there that has gotten me through so much, and I'm sure that it's gotten Renee through a whole lot. But it's Psalm 35, and it is, weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. So that those bad times only last a short time, and you have to continue to pursue that joy.
That's perfect.
Renee, thank you so much for sharing a personal story, and I hope it inspires others. Sherry, thank you. And for that, we'll see you next week.
Thank you so much, Renee. And Lola, thank you for sitting in and watching.
Bagels and Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in October. Try their brand new caramel apple butter cream cheese or apple